Na hora que estiver assim. Yes, and we're recording. Today we have a guest speaker in our class. We're studying Great Britain. So I felt it would be a tremendous experience for you all to meet my brother who actually lived in Great Britain and has some very interesting experiences to share. Here we go. Here's Carlos.
Hello there, everyone. How are you guys doing?
First of all, tell us how you ended up in Great Britain. Tell us the whole story. What led you to go there? Tell us the whole thing. Pretend I don't know.
Okay. Well, basically, my family was all engaged within exchange students for quite a few years ago. Uh, whilst I was around between the age of 8 and 9, and everyone else used to come around like students from everywhere in the world, such as from Poland, Germany, the US, and everywhere else. And then my sister, she was an exchange student in the US in 1989. Then we've hosted a student from New Zealand as well. And then when I was around 15, at the age of 15, I decided to myself go for an exchange program as well. So I enrolled into a program called AFS, which stands for American Field Service. They've actually started their operations between the Second World War, First and Second World War, and this concept of exchanging nurses all around the globe from the affected countries until countries where they had no war became an actual program of exchanging students rather than nurses. And then the AFS was the first one who actually held something like it. So I enrolled into this program, and then I was approved to select 3 countries to actually go abroad. The first one was actually Great Britain. The second one was Sweden, and the third one was, I think, Switzerland. Those were my options, and I had the first option being approved to Great Britain. So I went in 1999, exactly 10 years after my sister went to the US, and I stayed the whole year there. I've made system in the UK. We don't actually call it Great Britain. We actually call UK. People from there. I know the reason, but there are differences. The UK is actually the political group of countries, and Great Britain is the historical group of countries because it actually gathers the whole island of Ireland, and the UK is only Northern Ireland. That's the basic difference. So people from Great Britain, they refer themselves as the UK. So that's what it is really. So I've studied the whole experience there in the actual English family. I was hosted by a mother and a father from England. They hosted me very well. I had an actual brother as well, which was an exchange student also. He was from Dominican Republic. So we've made a deal right before we started being brothers and family as well, that I would actually help him to learn English because I already knew English by the time I went to the UK. I already had the whole English course completed before leaving Brazil. But this guy, he had no idea what English was like. So we've made a deal that I would help him learn English and he would help me learn Spanish because I always had the feeling that I could speak Spanish. But as a matter of fact, I didn't. Although it's very similar, Portuguese to Spanish, but they have many false cognates in the language, which helps in most times, but it also doesn't help at all. So some words in Portuguese, if you try to pronounce them in Spanish, you could offend someone if you use it in certain ways. I'm sure you know about that. So Um, so we had this deal, and it worked it quite well. We actually had a great experience together, and we could actually know how the English were like, especially with their relationship between the English and the Queen, because most people think that to have a queen you have a whole different type of society, but it's just like ours. It doesn't change anything. It's just the fact that we have an old lady that is the queen, and that's it. She doesn't decide anything. There's a parliament, there's a prime minister. But it's funny though, because many countries in Europe they have queens and kings. I think in Norway there's a king and a queen also, doesn't it? But it's the same thing. So coming back to England, we had a great experience. I had a part-time job there as well. I was a waiter on part-time. I worked as a team leader in this kind of agency that contracted people to work as waitresses and waiter in the events and pubs and many places which they would require extra labor to work. So it was an actual proper thing. And I was scaled into different positions in this structure. And I ended up being a team leader, which was quite nice actually, because I could actually make my efforts to have spare money to use on my entertainment opportunities there as well. I've played basketball also because it was something that I used to do in Brazil. So I was part of a team, and I had friends. I had many of my friends were English also. I remember of having contact with one or two Brazilians there, but it was about it really. I was the only black guy in the city. I was the only Brazilian in the city also, and it was very nice because the English they are very they don't get into close to you except you have something to offer like scientifically or mentally or something that you could contribute for the society. They're very close. They're not kind of people like the Brazilians that they make friends very easy. In England, to make friends is very difficult. But because I was an exchange student, because I knew how to speak English, they refer to me as the Brazilian guy that speaks Americanish. It was something about it, really.
Yes, that's what I wanted to point out to my students, because often enough whenever we all hang out together in spaces where everyone speaks English, people are like, "Your brother and sister? How come you sound American and he sounds British? That is weird." So tell us a little bit about that. So for the first, I feel like for the first 10 years of your studies, you learned American English, right? You changed your accent once you went to Britain. I lost your video, by the way. I lost your sound. There's no sound. No, the sound's completely gone. How about you hang up and get back in?